poppin', y'all? We got a crazy video today about Atlanta GDs, not Chicago GDs, not Chicago BDs. We got Atlanta GDs. We gonna see if they slinging that Angela how they do in Chicago. Let's dive into it, see they thuggin'. Yes, Lord.
With all these new gangs in Atlanta, there was also the rise of gangster rap. Obviously, Atlanta was already a hotbed for music during this time, and interestingly, just like how the drug marketplaces of Atlanta were heavily influenced by the Miami Boys and Miami cocaine, making its way to the streets of Atlanta, early Atlanta hip-hop had roots in the Miami electro-bass music scene. Uncle Luke of the 2 Live Crew was instrumental in creating the Miami bass genre, and he discovered and aided the careers of many pioneering Atlanta hip-hop producers, particularly DJ Toomp, who is identified as one of the pioneers of the unique Atlanta-centric production sound. Lots of legendary Atlanta musicians boomed through this period with a unique sound that was a far cry from gangster rap. Groups like Outkast put the South on the map with an incredibly creative and conscious approach to rap music. Then you had the likes of Lil Jon, who got the club shaking with the hyper-aggressive nightclub-focused beats that would become known as crunk music. But it would be DJ Toomp's work with iconic rappers with ties to the streets that would birth some of the early examples of southern gangster rap that would later become known as trap music. And it was through these influences that we got some of the most influential gangster rappers of our generation hailing from Atlanta, like T.I., for instance, who dropped his first studio album, I'm Serious, in 2001, which, while it didn't have much commercial success, the album was crucial in ushering in the new subgenre of gangster rap, trap music. Trap music is a form of gangster rap that focuses much more on the money-making and drug-dealing side of the gangster underworld. Fast forward to 2003, T.I., who was dropped from his label after the poor sales of his I'm Serious album, would sign a new deal with Atlantic Records, gearing up to drop his next studio album with the fitting title, Trap Music. An album that was literally recorded in the back of a beauty salon. This album was commercially and critically acclaimed and really gave a voice to the trap that this music was inspired by. 2 years later, in 2005, Young Jeezy, aka The Snowman, would begin releasing trap music with inspiration from the white powders that were flooding Atlanta and making the gangsters there rich. Jeezy would push trap music even further with the official release of his iconic Gangsta Grillz mixtape Trap or Die, which basically solidified trap music as a subgenre in the rap game. Jeezy was a known Crip from Macon, Georgia, a place that we'll visit later in the video, but shortly after Jeezy, another Atlanta trap legend would emerge named Gucci Mane, who in May of 2005 would drop his album titled Trap House, an album that was Gucci's portrayal of his time in the streets of Atlanta slanging dope out of his trap house, and a cover art which quite literally showed him on the phone, likely with a client outside of his trap house. Gucci actually collaborated with Young Jeezy, likely with a client outside his trap house. On the phone, what the fuck? Client outside of his trap house. Gucci actually collaborated with Young Jeezy on the track Spicy, and this song played a huge role in sparking peace between the two, with a disagreement over the song leading to a bit of
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If I ever see somebody with this cut right here, I'm smacking the shit out your head. I ain't even gonna lie. That motherfucker, I ain't even gonna lie.
Saw Jeezy putting a bounty on
bro, hell no,
ambushing Gucci, resulting him in killing a close friend of Jeezy and BMF affiliate Pookie Loc in self-defense. Interestingly, the affiliations of Atlanta gangster rappers or trap musicians would play into their musical personas too. That said, Gucci Mane is associated with the Blood Gang, with Clem, Jeezy's right-hand man, during this time claiming that Gucci Mane only started claiming the Bloods because they were claiming Crip.
You know, you guys, all these Crip dudes are in Atlanta, and I know at one point, you know, you had mentioned that a lot of dudes started to claim blood, kind of.
Yeah, because you gotta understand, we was running around painting the city blue. I'm talking about the whole crew. Everybody's in blue. If you a Crip or not, everybody was in blue. And that's how we ran around the city of Atlanta. And like I said, when I first got there, I didn't see no gangs like that. I seen claiming they block, East Side, the West Side, the SWATs, all that.
Right, that's how usually it is.
Once we started doing that shit, in my eyes, that shit just went haywire. Cause you had Gucci Mane them start claiming blood. And
meanwhile in Atlanta, there were also 3 young boys.
The Migos! Oh my god!
What Gucci Mane was rapping about, studying his tendencies and gearing up to take over trap music and bring
it
to a whole new level.
Who the fuck is that? That ain't take off?
I'm talking about the Migos, the rap supergroup who started their rise in the rap game in 2009 under the original name Polo Club until they changed their name to the Migos.
Their name was the Polo Club. Holy shit. The Polo Club. I ain't gonna lie. Imagine we was all singing, you know how they used to be, Migos. We would have been Polo. Like, nah, bro. Hell no. Hell no. It don't sound right. No.
Years. And early on in his music career, Offset from the Migos would actually claim affiliation to the Gangsta Disciples in music videos, songs, and social media posts. There's a September 2014 song, Trap Dab, where Offset raps that his crew bang GD. And then we have the February 2015 song, Cross the Country, where Offset raps that his crew rep the Gangsta Disciple Nation and throw up the Forks. The Forks, also known as the Rakes, is a GD hand symbol which represents the unity of the crew, which you can see New York rapper and fellow Gangsta Disciple 22G's throwing
New
up in
York
this photo.
GDs?
And in this
What
photo,
the
you can see
fuck?
Offset and Takeoff from the Migos throwing up rakes in a club. Now, some people claim that Offset and the fellow Migos are just fake GDs and falsely claim the gang, like in this video where Atlanta GD Champ Young calls out Offset for claiming to have a bunch of GDs whilst he was beefing with King Yella.
Then you get into it with King Yella talking about you got GDs. You don't come around, you don't pay dues, never came to no meetings, none of that shit. You went to one concert in Tennessee through the GODN Entertainment, through Rap A Lot. You know what I'm saying? You was on the books for that. Other than that, you ain't did shit for the nation.
But the
I'm
Migos
dead,
history
hell
of the gang
no.
dates far back all the way to 2011, when the Gwinnett County Police Department, along with the ATF, conducted an 8-month crackdown on the gangster disciples in the area. 49 people went to jail due to this sweep, with 2 of those people who
Holy
got arrested
shit.
actually being Offset and Quavo from the Migos. You see, the gang would operate out of the Bradford apartment complex at 100 Castor Drive in Norcross, Georgia, and detectives would say that the other residents in the complex would have to live in fear of the GDs, saying that we had a lot of concerned residents come and tell them that they were afraid to call the cops, stating it was common knowledge that after the police left, the GDs would set the tone that
Hell
if you ever
yeah.
did that again, they were going to rob you
Hell
or
yeah.
worse, shoot you. So now you know the deep ties
See,
that
and
Atlanta...
that's not just there. That's how it is in the streets, bro. You see something, bro, don't even say nothing. Don't even speak about it. Unless you don't see something. You see somebody literally dying in the street, call the ambulance. But like if you see something like crazy happening, like someone getting robbed, something going down that you know you should be seeing going down, don't even say nothing. Just act like you didn't see it, bro. Honestly, because 9 times out of 10 in these situations, bro, they coming after your ass. And they gonna know it was you. You feel what I'm saying? That's why you just, that's why you all here all the time. I ain't see nothing. I ain't see nothing. Oh, you about to get hit with a life sentence. I ain't see nothing. I don't even know what you talking about, bro. Life sentence it is, bro. Because either you gonna spend something like you gonna spend your life in prison, or you gonna die. So you gotta make your mind up. You feel what I'm saying? Just speaking in that specific scenario. You feel what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of different scenarios, but like that shit be crazy. That's why I say get up out the bad areas, man. You don't want to be part of that
drug gangs
bullshit.
have with the musicians making the trap music that provided the soundtrack to the trapping going on in the streets. Let's take a closer look at how the Atlanta GDs ended up going from focusing on trapping to a violent war that had the Atlanta streets shaking in its boots. Once the Gangsta Disciples decided to set up shop in Atlanta, the senior leadership was cemented and the crew were ready to get active in the streets. Alonzo Walton, aka Spike G, was appointed to be the governor of the new set of Atlanta GDs, and the plan was to focus on business rather than violence.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. The governor, my nigga. Hold on. I'm kind of thrown off. So you telling me y'all got a governor? What, y'all got a president? What, y'all got a president too, motherfucker? What the hell you mean governor? See, I don't know how none of the ranks goes. I don't know none of that. I don't even want to know none of that. You feel me? Because that's weird. But governor. Yo, well, goddamn. Congratulations.
Get the trap
shit.
booming and keep the police out of their business. And things would run smoothly for a few years. With the GDs
got a
really
general
just stacking
too?
their
Shit.
money, that was until a few GDs out of Marietta, Georgia made a horrible decision. The 3 men
What'd
we're
they do?
talking about, a 24-year-old Harvey Russ Hogans from New York City, 28-year-old Alfonso J. Rock Watkins from Pittsburgh, and 29-year-old Derek L. Kemp from Marietta, Georgia. These guys would make the decision to kill Derek Gray, aka Durr, who was just a local street dealer trying to provide for himself and his pregnant wife. Apparently, a few days
Damn.
before the murder, Derek Gray would text Alfonso and ask him if he had weed, to which Alfonso told him that he was all out, but he would send somebody that did to pick Derek up. Then, on July the 1st, 2011, Derek Gray would borrow $1,000 from his brother, telling him that he was going to pick up marijuana from his longtime plug, Alfonso Watkins. And at around 9 p.m. later that day, Gray would leave his house with at least $1,000. The last call that he made was to Derek Kemp, which was at 9:58 p.m. Phone records show how both men, along with Alfonso Watkins, were located near the Circle 75 Parkway in Smyrna, Georgia. They would meet up to do the deal, with Gray hopping in the back seat. That's when Rux would pull out his gun, pointing it at Gray and demanding his cash. Gray would pull out a gun of his own and shoot Rux, who then shot Gray.
He wildin'.
Kemp and Hogans would drive towards Circle 75 Parkway and dump Gray's body, and the 2 GDs
He
would drop
dumped his
Hogan off
body.
outside of a man named Michael Sanders' house. Hogan would ask Sanders to use his phone to call an ambulance as he had been shot. This was around 10:30 p.m. After he didn't come home that night, Derek Gray's wife would start to worry, calling him and his friends, and she would eventually file a missing persons report early in the morning of July the 2nd.
But like your ass went out, murdered him, right? And then you put what the fuck? I couldn't even imagine. I could picking up somebody's body, loading him up in my car, taking him somewhere, dumping him somewhere. Like what the fuck? And then your ass gonna call the ambulance. Hey, help! I've been hit. I need help. You was a different motherfucker. You was a different type motherfucker, bro. You was a demon on God. Like, goddamn, buddy.
Police were responding to a call about a burning car. And when they got there, they would see a
Ford
Taurus
that
was burnt so badly they couldn't even tell what color it was.
Wow.
Around that same time, a DeKalb County police officer had actually visited Derek Kemp as he called in to report that he sold his mum's Ford Taurus that had been stolen. Kemp would tell the officer that he last saw the vehicle the night before around 9 p.m. Police would later discover that the burned vehicle was Kemp's Ford Taurus. Police would then recover Gray's body after a woman called in saying that she saw a dead body while she was out on a walk near the Mission Gallery at
wow.
He had multiple gunshot wounds to his chest, buttocks, knee, and thumb, and several .38 caliber bullets were recovered from his body. Subsequently,
38?
Also on July the 2nd, Watkins had sent
it says several .38 round. My fault.
The recipient if they wanted to buy a gun, specifying in another message that it was a .38 special and a snub-nose 45. Watkins would even snap a photo of Gray's .45 Taurus revolver, which police would later find and confirm had belonged to Gray. Derek's death would hit his family and friends hard, with someone around him making a Facebook page to commemorate his life. In this post, they would express their guilt, feeling like him and Smoke should have been there with Derek that day, saying that they caught a flat tire and sadly couldn't make it. In December of 2011, Alfonso Watkins would get locked up where he shared a pod with fellow gang member Steve Lewis. But what Watkins didn't know was that Lewis was actually working for the police. Watkins would end up telling Lewis everything from start to finish, and Lewis would then take his info and give it to investigators. The three GDs would get
they hit him with the 60 days in type shit?
The murder of Derek Gray.
Is that what it's called?
Would take to Facebook to celebrate the guilty verdict, explaining how it brings them joy and pain at the same time. Ultimately, the initial plan of simply moving dope and staying out of the way had gone out the window for this group of Georgia GDs. Perhaps they'd gotten greedy, because robbing other drug dealers and the resulting violent crime put the group in the crosshairs of local law enforcement. Ultimately, senior leadership in the GDs would be furious about the violence and additional police attention that had been brought to the table. But now, it was too late, and the top GDs running Atlanta would need to come up with a plan to try and correct course for the crew now that the block was so hot. The governor, Alonzo Watkins, was not happy about the murders that his gang had just committed, so he would recruit Donald Glass, aka Smurf, and Kevin Clayton, aka OGKK, as chief enforcers for the gang in early 2012. They would create what's known as the Hate Committee, a ruthless group who would act as a sort of cleanup crew, with the Hate Committee being there to check anybody who had become out of line in the GDs. Basically, if you acted up, the Hate Committee was
they on your ass.
Talk with you. Both Smurf and OGKK would help to grow the committee over the following years. OGKK was actually a rapper with a decent buzz in the Atlanta area, with his biggest song War having over 250,000 views at the recording of this video. In the music video for the song, you can see a bunch of men wearing GD attire, blue jackets with a big GD Star of David and GD written right in the middle, throwing up the rakes, while OGKK raps about finessing his ops and being a GD for life. Honestly, the song's pretty good, and it kind of reminds me of Jeezy and that early 2000s Atlanta rap scene. Ironically, however, despite the senior leadership's commitment to try and rein in the violent tendencies of the gang, with a name like the Hate Committee, it would be hard to imagine their goal being achieved. And ultimately, what happened next would see yet more attention being brought to the group as a result of violence playing out in the streets. Interestingly, this time with the gang targeting a so-called gangster rapper who wasn't even from Atlanta as a result of what they felt was disrespectful lyrics referring to the Gangsta Disciple Nation.
I need pears. Oh damn, why did they have to put it? Why he put him in the beginning? I don't even know what he said at the end. All I know is boast. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, I ain't gonna lie, the Atlanta GDs do get down, but they not like the Chicago GDs. I'm gonna keep it 100. Chicago GDs are ruthless. They motherfuckers don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? There's probably way more of them on God, bro. But the Atlanta GDs is crazy, bro. They ass tweaking though. They ass tweaking. Especially, bro, that murdered him, threw him in the trunk, dumped his body. I'm in it. Like you're wildin'. You know what I'm saying, man? But y'all see it, man. Atlanta get down too. I didn't even know a lot of these rappers was GD, bro. Atlanta GD or Blood. I don't fucking know what they is, bro. They everything. Fuck it. They're everything, man. But let me know what y'all feel about this video, man. Like the video, share, subscribe to the channel, smash that little bell. You know what I'm saying, man? Y'all in the trenches, stay safe. I say it every video. Y'all in the trenches, stay safe, man. Work y'all move. It's on with y'all, man. Y'all